Previously on the Valley Buzzsaw Garage Makeover series.
What's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm finally sharing an update in our garage makeover series. In case you're new here, I'm talking over a bunch of clips from the first 6 episodes in this series. If you missed any of those, I'll link to the playlist at the end of this video and down in the description so you can start at episode 1. But this is episode 7, and today I'm finally getting through the enormous task of taping and mudding. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done that yet. I share our adventures in DIY home improvement and lots of smaller DIY projects on Fridays and some Sundays. And I'd love to have you here for our fun time party.
Every other one is there's one in the back. There we go. Okay.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, this thing needs so much money.
Agreed.
Oh God, if you can lift back there.
Yeah. There we go.
Let's just roll this over here.
Okay. All set.
Wait, pause.
Okay.
Stay there for a second. Yeah, it's gonna fit because we're gonna angle it. So it's on the corner, the other corner. Yeah. It's fine. It's like 3 pieces of drywall and it's only gonna be there for a couple of days, so I think it'll be fine. I'm coming in to thaw for 2 minutes before I come back out to start, so. Now, I know that drywall pros might shake their heads, but I don't use the conventional tools for this job. To start, yes, I have and love my 3-inch putty knife. In fact, you'll see me using it in this video. But after a first coat, I end up reaching for my Japan scrapers instead of other drywall-specific tools. After years of applying Venetian and other plasters, I'm much better in controlling this type of trowel. And yeah, it takes longer because I do tons more passes, but I'm a faux finisher, not a pro drywaller. I've tried just about all the tools out there, and I even own a 10-inch plaster trowel, but this kind is more comfortable for me. This one's covered now entirely. All right, what about these? Yep, roof is roof. ceiling, whatever. That is good. So I thought it would be cool to give you guys a wide shot of me doing this whole wall, but one, it would probably help if you could actually see what I'm doing, and two, the first 3 seams and 12 feet of ceiling line took me over a half an hour to finish. Yeah, I think that means it's time for a high-speed time lapse.
A cup of coffee in the morning, and I get the paper. I check the headlines and decide that I am bored. I check my email and I decide to answer later. Another cup of coffee and I drag myself to work. My life is drowned in a firm routine of coffee, sleep, and work. I am not boring, I just stick to what I know. I'm sitting there at work and I realized I forgot to wake up. I can't be productive when I'm dreaming about a sheep. I go upstairs and get myself another cup.
Guess I'm done for the day. I pulled out the mesh tape to better seal up the crack at the ceiling line. Unfortunately, because our water filter system is pulled out from the wall, I had a bear of a time working around it. So I ended up doing lots of short runs of tape and mud instead. And because of that, I had to take lots of breaks to wait for things to dry on the crossover areas. Needless to say, this job took me way longer than it probably should have. I started the second coat on everything I could easily reach because, remember this? It's fine, it's like 3 pieces of drywall and it's only going to be here for a couple of days, so I think it'll be fine. The drywall sheets ended up in the corner by the water filter and I had to finish everything else before getting into that corner. Actually, I moved stuff from wall to wall a bunch of times during this part of the project. And we have to hang on to this drywall to fill in over at the corner by the water heater. We'll get a plumber to remove the water heater, finish the corner, then have them reinstall. I'm just not quite ready for that lightning round yet. Some places needed 3 coats or more, depending on how wavy the wall studs were beneath the drywall. Matt did the best he could. I did the best I could too. Actually, the best we should do for a garage. We plan to cover so much of the walls with cabinets, pegboards, shelves, and other utility stuff anyway, so it doesn't have to be uber perfect. I finished up the inside corner and I was happy with how smooth it was considering my access limitations. And I emptied my 3rd bucket. I love opening a new bucket of compound. It's the best consistency when it's brand new. You guys might think I'm crazy for not getting a 5-gallon bucket, and I've definitely spent more on the smaller buckets, that's true. The real reason I do this is that as soon as I open a bucket here in Phoenix, it starts drying out. And to me, it's more of a waste to toss half a bucket of mud when I could just buy the small ones and not have any issues. I added a bit of mud in a few places along the ceiling line to completely cover the tape, and spoiler, this does not bode well for me when it comes time to texture. I also did a final look everywhere from top to bottom and filled in anything else that needed finalizing. We're done. Actually, now we're done. I totally apologize for the lighting in here, but if I'm doing the ceiling, I can't have the garage door open, so yep, that's where we're at. With the walls finally done, I could move on to the ceiling issues, and there were a lot of places I had to fill in on the ceiling. I used paintable caulking for most of the cracks. It seemed like every drywall seam had cracked open somewhere. I didn't want the popcorn to fall, so I figured a thin line of caulking would seal everything up nicely. Plus, I'll go over everything with spray texture later. Okay, there's only 2 places left that I have to actually do on the ceiling, and unfortunately they are gonna need mud, and Matt's car is in the way, so I'm gonna have him move that, and then I'm gonna finish those up. For some of these bigger holes, I had to use compounded tape. I didn't want anything to fall, so I slopped it on pretty thick. Then I added the tape to the mud and slopped on another thick layer over that. There was a bit of sag, and I'm sure it'll crack because it's just way too thick. But like I said, I'm doing texture, so that should hide a lot. Hopefully. And speaking of starting texture, that's where I'm wrapping up this episode. Not the most exciting jobs this time, but like my sister said, even the boring stuff is part of the process. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, then you won't miss any garage makeover episodes. I post on Fridays and some Sundays, so do all the stuff to get notifications too. In the next episode, I'll finish the ceiling, even though the texture tried to play me. Plus, I finally get to buy a paint sprayer, and if there was ever a good place to get my chops with that tool, a garage renovation is a good choice. Thanks so much for watching, peeps. Later!